Parents, there are 4 ways we have designed this puzzle especially for you. The first is dopamine. So I think we will all agree that life can be quite stressful and we need to feel like we are achieving things. So after COVID, there was some research done that showed that a really good way of looking after your mental health is to have small, achievable goals. Nothing too massive. Something that you can do in a short amount of time, that you can achieve. It gives you a dopamine hit, and then you can carry on with your day and have another achievable goal tomorrow. So this is what this puzzle is. So let me show you another puzzle that I got from the library. This has not got small achievable goals. Like, the satisfaction you get from this puzzle is when this puzzle is done. Which is going to take a while, I reckon. There's a lot of similar colours in here. There's nothing really like super exciting as you go. I reckon this is super boring. I'd never do this puzzle. We didn't want to do something like that, so we did this. So if you've got like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, a little bit of time, half an hour, you can choose one of these sections. You can feel good about it. You can just sit down, do it, and then it is done and move on with your life, because we don't have hours to sit and do puzzles. Even if we maybe used to have done that before children, that's probably not our reality anymore. And, you know, there's lots of other things on our time. So we have done that. That is number 1. Number 2 is that this puzzle involves your kids. So, you know, here's another example. There are a lot of puzzles that are cottages and gardens and castles. And sure, it's nice, it's pretty. But there's no, like, what do you do when your kid comes up and says, can I do a bit? Like, which bit do you give them that gives them some satisfaction or interest? Like, it's all kind of just runs into each other. Not quite as much as that brown one before, but still, there's not a lot of like child-friendly involvement in this puzzle. So again, we didn't want to do this, so we did this. So if your child comes up and says, "Can I help?" you go, "Yes," because this thing, this octopus here, is like 4 pieces. It's pink, stands up quite well. You can find those pieces, and your child can do the octopus, and then they can be done, and they've helped you. And if you are a hard-out puzzler, when they go to bed, you can take it apart and do it again yourself. So there's lots of bits that are achievable on a small scale. Also good for the dopamine hit, but also good for getting your kids involved. And there's other ways that kids can be involved in this. Let me show you. There is search and find. So there's over 120 creatures to search and find here. Some of them are like really easy, like 2 manta rays. Some of them are harder, like getting to 33 tuna. But as you're doing the puzzle, or when you're finished, or even looking at the box, your kids can be involved by looking for these things. On the back, we have some storytelling prompts. And what we mean by that is, as you're doing the puzzle or looking at the box, there's some options here for your kids to make up stories to sort of prompt them. So let me tell you what they are, so you can see what you think. First one is, what is the marine scientist in the dinghy doing? That's there. You can see her there. What do you think whales have experienced in their long lives? How can we help protect the ocean? And which deep sea animal would you be? So there's some things to look at the puzzle, get started on that. The third way is climate conversations. So climate conversations can be super stressful. It's really hard to know what to say. It's usually pretty depressing. This puzzle deals with the carbon cycle in the ocean between the plankton. That's quite a hard bit there. I've done this a couple of times. This is always a bit like, ooh, that's a challenge. The plankton and the whales. So the whales dive down to the bottom, not the bottom, deep into the sea. They eat squid, they come up and they poo, and the poo provides nutrients for the plankton, which absorb carbon and release oxygen. Massively important cycle in climate change. This is really positive because it's whales, it's the ocean, lots of exciting wildlife here. Also, the other thing is when whales die, their bodies fall down to the bottom of the ocean, and they support an entire marine deep sea ecosystem down the bottom. And all the carbon trapped in their bodies, which is like, I think it's 33 tons on average, sort of, in a whale, comes down to the bottom of the ocean and is trapped there. It's not released into the atmosphere. So that's a carbon cycle. So that's a good way of talking about how nature-based solutions to climate change work and why they're important without having to discuss like really, really depressing things. There is information on the back that you can use to talk about that, a bit of science there. And the other thing is keep an eye out on our YouTube channel for videos about all of these creatures, because as we know, kids will come up and they'll go, what's that? And the answer, the name is on here, but not much other information. So we've got some videos on our YouTube channel that talk about what these creatures are, why they're awesome, and why we like them. And the fourth and final reason how we specially designed this puzzle for you parents and us parents is the box size. So this is a pretty standard box size for puzzles. This is our box size. Now, the standard puzzles are this size because it's all about perceived value and retail real estate shelf space. But in your home, like, where are you going to put this? It's massive. And also, good things come in small packages. This is exactly the same right size for the puzzle that is in it. And the other thing is, we're not shipping and using extra resources to make the box. We're not shipping carbon and air and resources around the world in this box. The other thing is, the other thing we've been told is that the picture needs to be big to help you with the puzzle. But like, I mean, this puzzle, is it really going to help having all of those shades of grey that size? I've done this puzzle a few times now, and this is really good. You can use this as a guide for doing the puzzle, and it will fit on your shelf, and it will cost you less in postage, because shipping and postage is not cheap. So we can send that to you for less because of the size of the box. Those are the four things that we have specially put in to make doing a puzzle more fun, or actually achievable for parents. It's a really good way to get off screens, do something that is sort of a little bit creative, a little bit achievable, and hopefully there's some dopamine hits and some connection with your family in this puzzle. So available on the website now, and any comments, just put them in the comments section. All right, see you later, bye.